about now, Jay. C-Dub on the beat. Back against the wall, CL20's knocking rated. IGI's tripping, validated, shoot ready. Brown incarceration, got my people living.
Hey, yo, what's good with everybody, man? I hope everybody's having a productive day, feeling blessed, and like I always say, is one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. So with that being said, man, the video I dropped yesterday, whoo, God, man, I mean, I understand I'm a hated individual. I understand that people don't like my narrative, no matter what I talk about. It could be about a SNY gang, it could be about a prison gang, it could be just about anything, bro. There's gonna be a substantial amount of viewers, should I say? I wouldn't say supporters or subscribers that'll come after me, but it's all good, you know. Just for those that do, if you're gonna be quick to leave a comment, whether it's disrespectful, whether it's on assumptions, whether it's to put me down, whether it's to discredit me, all I ever ask from you, I don't care. I'm never gonna address you. All I care about is if you can read a comment in the same sense that you can leave a comment, and just read the people's support and read the people that validate my stories and read the people that are actually in these circumstances that I'm talking about that speak on it and say it's facts. That's all I ever ask from you guys. But let's get into the video. So with that being said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, always leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Check the links in the description for my Apple and Spotify music. Go ahead and run my streams up. And you can check out my playlist section on my YouTube channel and check out my music right there. Thank you guys for you guys' time. Most importantly, thank you guys for you guys' support. And make sure y'all blow up that Torta song. I'm going to drop it this weekend on Apple and Spotify and everywhere else. I'll post the links in the community post. Let's run that one up. For some reason, I got faith that one's going to go crazy. Let's go. So somebody shouted to me on TikTok, but, you know, it's my boy, Mr. Mass 15. You know, he's becoming a big success on YouTube. I support the kid. He's doing his thing. He's being productive. And I want that for everybody. It doesn't matter what you talk about, what you don't want to talk about. You know, you choose your lane. You create your own path. Don't let nobody else dictate what you can and can't say, man. This is freedom of speech, man. It's the First Amendment, right? So I seen him do a video about Nona Ryder turned Nuestra Familia, and it was about Soulja Boy. When I was in YA with Soulja Boy, the thing about it was, but back then I was like 15. I didn't even know what Northern Rider was. I barely had heard about New Flowers because Silver from Fatima, the NF member, he was having us go out there and like brush them and get off on them. There was a big portion in Tulare County that New Flowers, like there is today. There's a lot of New Flowers in Tulare County today, man. They do put in work. They do let it be known. And it's a trip that, you know, times have changed. Back then, like we knew they were out, but we didn't hear them announce it. So, you know, like I said, times has changed. So, you know, I had a lot of good fights with Johnny Boy, you know what I mean? Soulja Boy, should I say. Me and him, we kicked up some riots. He was a little kid. He was a young kid. He had a homeboy from Salinas that used to bring in Clecha from his dad, and his dad was coming out of prison. So we used to get all the updates back in the day, reading about the bonds. That was when I first read the Northern Enlightenment, before I found out that it was never published documentations. It was never implementations. It was just something that it was created. I don't know from where. So I watched the video, and I was like, interesting, because I had a subject on that too. I just didn't really talk about it too much. But overall, just so you know, there's been about 10 of them altogether, Northern Riders, that actually got pulled back into the fold with the NF. Now, like I said, I speak about stuff that my subscribers give me, their points of view, their life experiences, which I know a lot of people can't stand. They're like, hey, bro, it's not your stories. How could you be telling another man's stories? Well, you know what? I'm giving people an outlet. I said it in the beginning that my YouTube channel is for you guys as well, for those that have been through it, want to talk about it. If you don't want to show your face, you know, I'm willing to take that risk. You provide me with the information, I provide it to the audience, let the audience talk. That's why I don't delete comments in the comment section like that unless they're just blatantly disrespectful. I'll just like it and thumb it up just to show you that I read it. But I'm not either agreeing. It's not me agreeing with you or disagreeing with you. I'm just liking it, thumbs up, like, hey, man, thanks for the comment. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, you know, everybody's opinion matters, including haters, so it doesn't really matter. So this particular subject, I don't know why the NF decided to do it. Because I didn't even know in the feds with Operation Hill, when they were bringing Bulldogs back into the fold. You know, when I did that video, the only people that responded, like, in against and opposed to it was the Bulldogs. Like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't definitely gonna happen. Hell nah. Whoa. They expressed their concerns. They expressed their attitude. You know, and they're entitled to their opinion. But even for those that are, active, that love to, preach the active in my comment section, they didn't really say too much about that one. So I'm pretty sure they're going to say a lot about this one. So yes, there's been about 10 that I can recollect, Northern Riders that got pulled back into the NF. Now, I don't know what the NF's agenda on is, so I'm not going to make assumptions like people make me seem like I'm doing. I really don't know, and I had actually sat there and thought about it, like, why the Northern Riders? I get the Bulldogs, in a sense, but they both made an oppressive stance for independence against the NF. They both stand against the NF. They both will go to war with the NF. So why would the NF be open-minded to it? Then there was one particular situation. It was two Northern Riders from Modesto, but one of them had a brother that was a carnal that was made in the feds. Well, these two individuals were co-defendants. They end up going to the feds anyways, but decided to walk the main line with the Nortenos. But instead of the Nortenos blasting them, the brother got at the younger brother that was a Northern Rider with his Cody and was like, look, cut that short. Forget all that. Forget what you did in the States. That don't apply here. We're going to bring you back in. You down? And obviously the brother was into it, and actually talked the co-defendant into it. And they both got brought back into the fold. Had to cover up their tattoos, got re-educated, went through the whole process. The only question that the NF asked any Northern Rider that wants to come back to be a Norteño again is if you ever shedded blood of another Norteño. In the same sense, in the same practice that they asked the Bulldogs during Operation Hill, hey, have you ever shedded blood of another Norteño? They say, no, okay, cool. We'll take it on the basis of that. You'll hold your time in court. So this is the proceedings. From what I was told, this particular situation, the brother brought the dudes back into the fold. And they were allowed to become Norteños. But in return, they actually blasted the NF member, the C, that brought his brother back on the basis of favoritism because he favored his familia. He shouldn't have did that. But what's done was done. They didn't get rid of the dudes that they brought back into the fold. Why? Because they've already been doing that. And I get it. Maybe it's another form of practice to clean up house, to reduce, the SNY gang population, so on and so forth. I get it. There's one in particular case that I won't talk about, but I respect the man's decision. As for the rest, I do understand, they probably got put in an ugly predicament. Even though the drop yards have a lot of riders, these individuals probably end up getting tired of being SNYs and being on these SNY gangs, knowing that they're just about as hypocritical as any other gang. So might as well just go to the other side and just clear their names, get that target off their back. I can't justify what these men did, but I will tell you this was a crazy aspect. Even though the NF got hit for his brother for favoritism, and now they're functioning, it would trip me out. It's like the brother would sit there and go back to being a Norteño again, knowing the Norteños and the NF just blasted his brother because his brother was trying to preserve him and save his life. That's an ugly predicament to be in. But I do know that obviously once you get brought back into the fold from being a Northern Rider to a Norteño, there's a court fee. What the court fee is you underwent the process, you underwent an investigation, and obviously they cleared you. That took a lot of people's time. So the court fees in the same essence as a fine, as in the same essence as the court proceedings as you would do if you caught a charge. So you got to pay. Some individuals already got access to money. Some individuals just start bringing in dope, contribute to the household, pay that court fee off. And then you got to go do a removal. So same practices, nothing different, nothing new. In the same regard that I talked about Operation Hill, maybe it's just a power move. They need numbers again. I don't know if the NF is perceiving is that they don't have a lot of numbers on the streets no more, which I kind of doubt, bro. I kind of doubt. There's a lot of Norteños in Northern California still to this day. Now, whether they choose to function with the states or the feds, who knows? So I doubt that when it comes to small numbers, small recruitment, or having a vast influence over the population to work for them is a problem where they say, you know what, we're going to start bringing back the SNY gangs and try to bring back the Bulldogs. Maybe that's just something that's going on in the feds. Who knows? But look, Soldier Boy, Northern Rider, became an NF member through Chente. He never been to the feds. That was a state issue. But there was this one time, man, that I want to talk about. And it's a trip. And I can't say for everybody, but I know for a lot of people, I was like, wow, they're just, whoo. I seen people shoot colors. Everybody on the SNY wants to gangbang. So did I. Trust me. So when this incident occurred, it showed who's really a gang member, who was really a gangbanger, who was really just down for the SNY prison gangs, and who wasn't. Because one day that IGI came into, it was in Kern Valley, they came to all the buildings. And we were all in C-section at the time, all the mess-ups, all the F-ups. A lot of us had caught multiple batteries for putting in work on, our own or kicking off riots with each other. And IGI came, and they came like 17 deep. I didn't even know IGI was that big, to be honest with you. I thought it was like maybe a little unit for like 6 or 8 of them, but they came in deep. ISU and IGI, and walked to every Zapatista's door, every independent rider's door, every 2-5er's door. That's a lot of 2-5ers. And every rider's door. And we're like, hey, since you guys want to gangbang, what I explained on Sena Mills TV, my interview, is this. When you go to committee, like I said, the debriefing process is for the THU, but for those that cross over and want to give up information to solidify their transition to the SNY yard, they'll give up some information like, oh, this dude's running the building, this dude's running this, and this dude's running that. Okay, that's cool. That suffices. Now we can use that for his validation packet. That's how it was back in my day before the validations changes and it looks a little bit different. So you go to committee and you tell them, you have to tell the warden, and there's going to be an IGI right there, and there's going to be like your counselors and assistant wardens and a bunch of other people. And they all ask you like, is this it? Are you want to go SNY? So you're like, yes. They'll be like, all right, so are you willing to put on paper that you're disassociating yourselves from whatever crew? Yes, so you get this little piece of paper. You don't get a copy of it, but it's in your C file. And it says, such and such and such on this day, such and such has validated during the classification committee that they would disassociate themselves from the Northern Hispanics or the Southern Hispanics or the whites, and has agreed to go to SNY. There's a small paragraph at the bottom that says, in doing so, you agree to like some weird terms, like you will not go to the SNY and join these gangs and be a gang member again. So they're basically saying if they're allowing you, without debriefing, to go to the SNY willingly on your own accord, you can't go over there and join another gang after you didn't told us at the committee that you're disassociating yourself from the gang lifestyle. So it's a very small paragraph, right? So you say yes and you sign it. That's the chrono that people say that everybody says you're going to sign off on your chrono and go back to the main line. That's the exact chrono. So they put it in your C file saying that you agreed never to join an SNY gang. I guess the SNY gangs were pretty big or pretty like disruptive, that they're trying to prevent people. Hey, you want to go to SNY? Fine. We'll let you do that on your own accord without having to debrief, but don't go over there and act a nut because I will just send you right back. So the IGI comes and it's talking about that chrono. And they tell everybody, hey, since you guys want to gangbang on the SNY, guess what? Pretty soon, prison administration is going to put it in the Title 15 or is going to pass it with the courts to make you guys sign all you guys' chrono off. Make you, not ask you. Make you. Or you'd have to drop out right there on the SNY, which I didn't understand that part because you'd have to be validated on the SNY to go to the THU to debrief in order to get that title off your C file. So a lot of people were like talking about it, like, damn, bro, they're gonna put us back on the main line, bro. They're gonna put us back on the main line. And I was seeing everybody's colors. Me at the time when this happened, I had like 7 years, and I had just used a banger on another inmate. And I've used bangers before on other inmates. So to me, fighting for my life, I've done it before. Not that I want to go back to the main line and just be dumped by myself with a lot of actives ready to demolish me. No. But if they did, oh well. Because back then, IGI was making it seem you're not going to refuse it. If you're validated STG on the SNY, you're gonna sign that chrono and you're going back to the mainland. There's nothing you could do about it. You can try to resist all you want. We're still going to put you on that bus sprayed up. They're going to drag you off that bus to another facility, and you're going to get thrown in that building. Ain't no locking it up no more. Since you guys want to act a fool out here and be a gang again when you guys all said, no, you guys ain't going to be gang members no more, and all you did was come to the SNY, become gang members again. So I understood the logic from IGI. But the talks on the yard after that, you can see the fear in a lot of the STG groups on the SNY. Like, damn, bro. Some are like turned up. Some dudes had live. A lot of the Zapatistas have live. They were like, bro, if they put us back there, let's put it back there. So all the STG groups in every facility on the SNY says that if we all go together, we all got to defend each other. You know, we're all going to back each other up because in all essence, That's not a war the SNY group's gonna win, to be honest with you. And I've seen people in the comment section like, oh, bro, the North and South, the way I talk about them, oh, bro, the numbers are getting small. There's more SNY yards. The SNY groups is big. This is their time to group up and get big and infiltrate. No, that's not how it works. The main line has structure. The main line has communication. The main line has the streets. Now, granted, the STG groups on the SNY are starting to establish that little by little on the streets, but it's a very big uphill battle. And to be honest with you, it's easy. It's real easy to gangbang on the SNY when you're protected on the SNY as an SNY yard, because you don't got access to these actives. Now, this integration policy that happened within the level 1s and level 2s, the level 1s and level 2s, most of them are functioning, but the 3s and 4s was kicking off. They were dropping off, SNY inmates on main lines and getting demolished. They were taking a couple of actors, putting them on SNY inmates, and they were getting demolished. So administration seen like, man, on the level 3s and level 4s, they're not gonna program, but the lower levels they are. But the fact of the matter is that I was there. I've seen people's faces on the SNY, and a lot of people, you can tell they were not gonna do it. And a lot of people did walk away from their STG groups on the SNY for that particular case. This was a trip, right? So a lot of people got validated on the SNYs as STG groups. So I'm gonna talk about the Northern Riders for sense. When the N got dropped per Snoop, a lot of riders got they walked away. They were like, nah, we want to be Northern Riders. We don't want to be just riders, man. Forget Snoop. And they rebelled and they broke off. So it left us with like 4. And around this time, every time us 4 were getting into it with the 2-5ers, the Zapatistas, the independent riders, or we were doing removals on our own, or we were fighting the Northerners in 3 block, they were locking us down. But they were also locking down the step backs, that fools that didn't want to push riders. They wanted to push Northern riders because they were already validated and it was already on their C file that they were riders. So a lot of them were complaining, filing 602s like, man, I'm a step back, boo, I covered up my tattoos. You know what the prison administration told them to do? Do you want us to take it off your file? Go take off on all the Northern riders right there and show us that you're not part of that group no more. That's why I got into so many fights during 2014, the beginning of 2014. I was fighting a lot of my own ex-brothers because they wanted the NR taken off their file altogether. Because during this time, they were saying if you were validated or you were identified as a STG group on the SNY, you're signing your crown and going back to the main line. So these dudes heard about that as well. And we're trying to tell the administration, like, we don't want no part of that. We used to be that. And they literally told them, take off on the Northern Riders, show us that you want to get down with them, and we'll take it off your file. And they were doing that. They were doing that. Because a lot, even for the ones that stepped back, granted they wanted, the STG group on the SNY wasn't their life. They went about their business. Okay. But now every time I came out of automotive, I think it was automotive, they were just calling me out one-on-ones, and we get down one-on-one, go to the program office. They would tell the cops, hey, with the boo, I took off on them to get this off my file. And the sergeant already knew what's up. All right, man, I got you. And we couldn't do nothing to them, like jump them off the yard because we were only 4 deep at the time. And they were like in the 20s. I was like, man, bro, this is hard knock life right here. So I knew from the gate on the SNYs that a lot of people that bang on the SNYs, these STG groups, they didn't want to fight that big battle. It sounds good, like I said, when those gates divide us. And we're on the SNY side, we're gangbanging, we're being thugs all over again for no reason, like I've mentioned. Trust me, I own up to my mistakes. I own up to my ignorant ways of thinking. A big portion of those groups on the SNY don't want that battle. And they ain't willing to fight that battle. But it sounds good, though. Sounds good on the SNY, like I said, when we're all protected. But in this sense, like I said, for riders to go back to being active, all I could think about was like, man, maybe they just didn't like the SNY groups. Like I told you guys plenty of times, and I know it's never going to register. It's never going to resonate with nobody. People on the SNY, sometimes they don't want to stop gangbanging. That's all they know. That's all they do. So if they decided to say, you know what, man, these STG groups on the SNYs are hella poo-bud, bro. They ain't fun. They ain't structured. It's all just watered down politics. I'm going to go back to the main line. Or maybe they got put in predicaments where like, bro, either we function or we're going to be demolished all in the federal penal system because the feds operate different. Whatever the decision was to do that, they did. But I've heard about it plenty of times. So I can't validate Mr. Mass 15, his recent video about Northern Riders becoming Nuestra Familia. In my sense, I didn't hear about them becoming NF members. I just heard about them going back to being Nortenos. So I just wanted to provide you guys with that story. So with that being said, like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. Peace.